on. So today is a good day because today is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I think it's today Wednesday. Yes, today's Wednesday. I am on my way to work. God is good. I'm on my way to work. Um, I gotta share this with y'all. I got to share this with y'all. So I was having a conversation with women. Majority of these women, you know, well, not majority, they were black. And so it's not even funny. One of the ladies, she's older than me. She gotta be like 50, 58. She looked at me and her face. She said, us blacks should have never voted for Biden. It's so not funny. And I said, us. I said, I didn't vote for Biden. I voted for Trump. And then he go the other lady. She's black too. Not that it would make a difference, but no, it would because we talk about black vote or whatever. I regret it too. I really regret it too. And I said, oh, so y'all the reason why we in this situation, huh? And then they were like, well, we just thought because Obama. And I said, this time, do y'all due diligence before y'all start casting y'all votes. I said, the thing is, he's not over. He still got like what, 2.5 more years. If he destroy this country in such a short period of time, and not even like a year span. Oh goodness gracious, you guys are in for a treat. So I looked at them and I said, oh, so y'all the reason why we with these issues. Well, it's just because we thought, yeah, but like I said, even with both parties, because I've had dreams about Trump being good, but lately I've been seeing him like switch like a 10 speed, and I'm like, what's going on? What is going on? But nevertheless, at the beginning, when he was running, I voted for, oh, these guys are smart. These people are so smart. Instead of them going straight, because we had a light, they went ahead and made a right and then made a left and yield right back into traffic. He gonna do the same thing too. Look, and he turns. Oh my, this must be a new light. It can't be because these guys know where they're going. So, so anyway, I just really thought that was funny. I really thought that was funny because it was like, why would they put a light right here knowing how much traffic we have? So I really thought that was funny because it was just like, first of all, you would think that not everybody, whatever race you are, vote for the same just because that person may say they advocate for blacks. I mean, there's some people who was like, this dude is going against my God. It's going against this country, my freedoms. I can't vote for anything like that. The rest of you who voted for Biden, now that y'all having these regrets, you ain't seen nothing yet. You had to batten down the hatches. Because it's about to get real. It's about to get real. Batten down the hatches. And she said, I just, us blacks should have never voted. No, you and your black behind should have never voted. Now you having regrets. And all of that so-called January, whatever that happened on the Hill, that was a total show, and it was basically to try to make Trump look like he basically is the bad guy. Now they're trying to say he's unfit to run because they know the American people are going to be first line up. Even the folks in the grave going to cast their ballots to Trump. They already know they don't have a chance in hell. The Democrats are done. The Dems are done. People who was never into politics are running. People who was never into politics and paying attention, they're now paying attention. Because anytime you taking out the food out of the mouths of their children, because of your own evil agenda, all hands on deck. All hands on deck. I was just looking at an interview with United Airlines, how they went ahead and fired all of those people. I'm talking about pilots and everything because they refused to take this jab. And now they're being sued. And I said to myself, us as Americans, we cannot support companies that try to dictate our lives. Now, they got this whole thing going on with Whoopi Goldberg in The View, that Whoopi Goldberg made a statement and she's suspended for 2 weeks. So I'm like, I don't look at The View because all of them are BS, because they were trying to push this agenda. And I don't feel sorry for Whoopi because she sat right up there too, pushing this so jabberoo agenda up everybody's behind. So when you say you suspended, who cares? And I don't care. She don't care for my God. I don't care. I really don't care if she's suspended. Who cares? And she tried, and so, but it had me thinking, like, what exactly did she say? Because the news is blowing this stuff up, and I can't believe it what the news is saying, because we know majority, like 99.9% of the news media are liars, instigators, not the free press. They are going along with this agenda because guess who's been sponsoring them? The same folks that actually create these daggone facts. So I don't even listen to the news anymore. But anywho, I was like, okay, what's the big deal? What did she say? So I listened to The View, and they were talking about the Holocaust. Why are they talking about the Holocaust? Because what they're trying to do is rewrite history like as if that didn't happen, like as if there weren't millions of Jews that got their lives taken from them in concentration camps. So they're trying to make it look like, oh, that was just, pink butterflies. So we don't say nothing about the concentration camps that y'all got put up around the world, like, in Australia and other places, and now even in our own backyard in the U to the SA. So, anywho, I decided, let me see what Whoopi Goldberg said. She said something of this, I'm just putting it in my own vernacular. She said, the Holocaust was not about race. And it's like, what? It was about control. I mean, that's her view, though. Because I could look at that and say, well, in a sense, it was about, well, not even in a sense, it was definitely about control. Because the U.S. got involved. Why? Because Hitler thought that he was going to dominate the freaking world, and the U.S. was like, hell to the no. Okay? And then we got involved, and it was like, this is war. So it was about control. And when we talk about race, the way I look at, well, what I was taught, which was wrong, most likely, is that the Jews, the Jews and Gentiles, like this was a hated group that was supposed to be biblically. And this guy, Hitler, had it out for this particular religion, these particular folks. And yes, you can say race. But guess what? Not all. There are some black Jews too. There are some white Jews too. So, as far as Jews is concerned, I can understand where she was coming from, but the comment was so petty. I can't believe they're blowing it up. The comment was just like, it was about control. She said it wasn't about race, it was about control. But it was. It was about control, because this dude wanted to kill them off, and he wanted to basically kill everybody else off. He didn't care if you was black. If you weren't the superhuman like they want you to be, you were going to die. And they were making themselves out to be like this superhuman, this super superior folks. And it wasn't just about race, because remember, in the USA, okay, you got white people in the USA, and majority of the folks that was in the army they were white, they were black, and they fought against this. Like, these people were trying to come because they were just like, we're better than you. So when she made a comment like that, I could get what she was saying, but yes, it was about control and race and domination, all the way around. It was evil. It was evil as hell. But for them to dictate, first of all, when she said the comment, I was like, I thought she was saying something. The way they blew that out of the water, I thought Whoopi had said something that was so horrible. I was waiting to hear it. And when I heard her say it wasn't about race, it was about control, and they looked at her like, what do you mean? So the way I look at it now is that this is the huge divide. That same old demon is trying to conjure himself up with whites, blacks, with Jews, Gentiles. Like, he's just trying to conjure up and divide. Now it's to the point where when she made a comment like that, which I thought was so small, and it's not about race, it was about control. That's her view. The name of the show is The View. And if somebody come back and say, no, it was about race, because it was these particular type of people that they wanted to annihilate and kill. But remember, those same folks, so they say, came out of a different place and they went back to a different place. So when I looked at it as a biblical thing. And that this person was basically like, he had Satan on his shoulders trying to annihilate people that were from the Bible, like the descendants from the Bible. So to me, that's more than just race. So, but that's a part of it too. So when she made that comment, it was like, oh my goodness, how could she do this? We're suspending her. And I'm like, but whatever happened to freedom of speech? She didn't curse. She didn't say, oh, racism isn't true. And what happened with the Jews was just a walk in the park. Because don't get it twisted. What happened to the Jews? What happened to whites? What happened to blacks around the world when somebody's oppressing them and taking their life? It's pure evil. We can just agree to that. It's evil. It's evil. And why did they have a vendetta out for these people? Me personally, when I look at it, it's because of biblical. And so they wanted to annihilate these people. They wanted to annihilate the Jewish. But remember, if anyone know the history, Jews are not just white folks, they're black too. Really, they were black. But nevertheless, what happened in those concentration camps, what happened to those people, that was horrible. And if we are not paying attention to history, these Bamas are going to try to rewrite history and try to make it look like, well, that's not really what happened. So when I hear a concentration camp, my antennas go up. And that's the first thing I think about is them concentration camps with Hitler and yes, and the Nazis and the Jews, and what they did to them and how they annihilated them. How they, horrible. I couldn't imagine going through what they went through. Stamping them, stealing their things. To this day, any missing art that was taken back in those days in World War II and in war crimes, it don't matter how many generations that daggone art went to, it has to go back to the descendants of the family. That was written in far as, dealing with the war crimes. Now, far as what happened here in this country and around the world with black people, my ancestry, and Indians, because that's my ancestry too, that was horrible too. Putting them in shackles, taking away and selling their children, all types of evil things. Evil is evil, okay? So when she made a comment like that, I was waiting to hear, like, okay, what else? I mean, is there something else that she said in the statement? Oh, she should have never said that. And so you saying, wait a minute, you wait, let me get this straight. If we're sitting at a table and Whoopi says it wasn't about race, it was about control. Okay. And somebody says, nah, Whoopi, I don't agree with that. It was about race and control. Okay. What was wrong with that? I'm just trying to understand, comprehend, because the news media and the instigating Botox wearing folks that they are blowing it out of proportion. And you got to understand this. If you go along with that narrative, anything you say out your mouth, your view, you will be censored. YouTube is already doing it. They censored President Trump, and they censored us away from President Trump. They're going after Joe Rogan now, but Joe Rogan, or whatever his name is, he should have knew that was going to come, because they went after, what's that guy's name? The one who's been frontline screaming to the top of his lungs about the elites. What's his name? Alex Jones. If they did it to him, doing it to him, they're going to do it to everybody. They got your profile. They know what you into. They know what your views are. You know, you got to understand, all your stuff is being put in the huge database where AI is basically profiling you. They know me. They know Mona Hines. Yeah, she's a Christian. Yep, she believes in God, and she ain't leaving. She's not backing down from her beliefs in God, in Jesus. She has true values. She's a patriot. She speaks her mind. You know, so that I feel like what they're doing is they're making sure that y'all don't speak up. And then with this new generation of children that's in school, half of them don't even know how to write in cursive. Somebody said that's not a big idea. I don't mean any harm, but our Bill of Rights are in cursive. You should know. You better know how to read the Bill of Rights. And what Biden is trying to do is he's trying to literally make and create new laws that's going to try to overstep our Bill of Rights. What is this? Like, what's up with this traffic? That's why you got build back better. No, you need to go and you need to step down. He's too old to run this country. Oh, he's feeble, and he's just, all of them are. And for him to choose that judge looked like he was about 200 years old. I know folks in their 70s that's tired. How you gonna get people that's like in their 90s? He probably wasn't in his 90s though. And I'm not sitting up here saying that, older folks don't have wisdom, because you would expect that. You would expect older people to, have it, but there's some old fools out here. There's some old, foolish, old, evil people out here. And especially those that's losing their mind. All they need is an entourage of people that, type up the notes and make sure you read as long as you can read, and get a face mask and act like they're you. I mean, these people are done. They're washed up. Somebody hit this person in the back. Yeah, they're washed up. So anywho. So yeah, she was like, they were like, us blacks should have never voted for Biden. We should not just regret. You should have seen the regret in their faces. They were like, we shouldn't have did that. Us blacks should have not voted. Us blacks. This black person ain't vote for no daggone Biden. Is you crazy? I ain't vote for him because I knew this was going to happen. And I remember having debates with folks who swore down that Biden was going to come through and set the record straight. That Black Lives Matter mess went out the daggone window. It went out the window. There's still more black people in jail for crimes that ain't never commit. Ain't nobody going marching for them. Ain't nobody going to represent them. You know, this been going on for years, for centuries. Come on now. And you thought this guy was going to get up in office and be like, yeah, I'm going to know. He just wanted your vote. And now he's like, sucker, suckers. And I said this. I said, y'all didn't do y'all due diligence. Y'all didn't look at see if this person was really about before you cast your vote. Huh? You didn't do that? No, you just, the other person is so ignorant. We just thought because Obama, first of all, Obama didn't get my last vote. And if he ever tried to run again, he ain't never getting my vote. I'm mad that I gave him the first vote and he got up in there and act a fool. And he was the one implementing these laws for this mess, that program they got going on. He put that in his program. Anywho, I guess we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen in the next 3 years. I mean, already since he's been in office, we still are. The amount of money that this country owes is ridiculous. It's off the meters. It's ridiculous. And it don't even matter if you gotta pay, for health insurance and stuff, man. Nobody trusts these doctors these days anymore. I daggone sure don't trust the science. You can't even come up with science can't even come up with a cure for cancer. So I'm not gonna trust you. I don't trust the science. All of y'all put y'all trust in that. They tried to remove God off the platform. That's not gonna happen. What else did this administration do? Oh. As soon as they got in the office, cut the gas pipeline, and now look at how much we're paying for gas. The cost of milk and bread has gone up. Inflation is through the roof. Okay, it's done. It's costing you $50 for some milk these days, and you looking at your shelf and you're like, this. Why is the shelf so empty? Are you guys seeing that on your end? The shelves are empty. This is the president of famine that you voted for, that y'all was just so like he's gonna do so much. We just can't have Trump. Oh, Trump. Oh, we can't have Trump. Why? You would expect if somebody knows how to run their household to be a billionaire, because you can't say million because Trump will say no. Billionaire. If Why wouldn't you trust someone who saw this country in its golden years, who not used God, but had God with him on his platform in prayer, especially you Christians? Where's my gloves at so I can smack y'all? Especially you believers who believe in God, who believe in the Bible, and you voted for somebody who don't believe in God. You just said Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. I hate that term. Mother enlighten us. Why do you hate it? Let me tell you why. Because I shouldn't have to tell you that Black Lives Matter. I shouldn't have to play like some freaking orphan. And I mean it, and I don't mean to talk about those who, but I shouldn't have to plead like Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. No, what it should have been is lock them up and give them life for killing people of color, for killing white people, for killing, period. Give them the book. Throw them in jail, prosecute them to the highest degree, death penalties. If you're now, no, let me take that back because I don't believe in death penalties. Sorry, but you do understand what I'm saying. Father, forgive me. I don't believe in death penalty because the Bible says thou should not kill, and I don't believe in that. So, but you understand what I'm saying? All that Black Lives Matter. We just need you guys. It's like, to me, it was like a week showing like, we need you to understand that our lives matter. I'm not gonna plead to you. If he shot and killed him on camera, give him 80 years in jail. Next. It should have been start prosecuting to the highest levels other than, death, the death penalty. But marching and saying Black lives, I just, it was just like, who came up with that? And I don't think it was a black person that came up with that. I'm just letting you know that right now. It's when you say Black Lives Matter, to me, it's like saying, I need you to understand that I'm important too. I need you. Even when I would see white folks with the shirt on Black Lives Matter, and I'm like, what am I, a cat or something? What am I, a black cat? Like, it's like me saying dog lives matter. Do you understand how degrading that is? Matter for what? What are they mattering for? Meaning, please don't shoot them. Their lives matter too. How weak of a statement of a whatever is that? I would much rather you say, you shoot me, we shoot you too. But to say Black Lives Matter, get out of my face with that. Just get out of my face with that. If that's the case, then get them folks out of jail right now. All lives matter. It's better for you to say justice for all. Justice. But for you, Black Lives Matter. And I'm gonna tell you this too, like, my brother was killed. He got murdered. He got shot. Literally, right after he came from my sister's house, right down the street from my mama's house, he got shot. And guess who he got shot by? A black man. And I could have said Black Lives Matter. Majority of these crimes that are committed in the hood, around the way, Chicago, and all types of stuff, blacks. Found out the other day, a young baby was in her home and a stray bullet hit her. Blacks. That ain't nothing new, especially if you black. You heard of those things happen before, right? Yes, and I'm not sitting up here acting like that police brutality isn't real, and therefore they need to be tried like the criminals that they are. Because trust and believe me, when they go to the jails and people find out, oh, you was the police before, huh? They're gonna get there 20 times a million over. They should be tried. You found killing somebody on your watch, this person died on, you say, on accident, okay, 90 years next. You'll know not to do that. You know next to ask questions before you think about pulling that trigger. Now, I'm not sitting up here saying like I'm stupid, that I don't know that police that came from, the KKs to the Ks, the things that they have done and the evil things that they have done. Not all police officers are like that. And there are some police officers that's really hurt because they really want to protect their communities. But those same police officers understand the reason why people are pissed at them, because look at your colleagues. It may be one out of 100 of y'all that's really good. But how many cold cases have we found a police officer dead? Folks getting shot up because you thought they had a gun and they had a cell phone. But this was a product of something that has been going on since the South, since, And that's why I already said before that it shouldn't be Black Lives Matter. It should have been we're gonna re-gut the justice system from the rooter to the tutor, from the dang on judge to the attorneys to every single aspect that's going on in the court system, because the court is a whole nother daggone story. The justice system is what's off. Like who are you crying out to when you say, but Black Lives Matter? I feel like even with and back in the day when Martin Luther King and all of the folks was really marching, because there was things that were being done that y'all couldn't even you couldn't even fathom. You'd be like, you couldn't even eat in a restaurant because it said whites only. You could not even see them Jim Crow laws. Them Jim Crow laws was around with my mother. My mother's still alive, and so is my grandmother. He wants you to act like none of that stuff ever existed. Not none of these politics ever, especially these folks with black and white hair. They want to act like they was never even part of it. Yeah, right. You remember them days when y'all walked up in there, whites only, blacks only. And some of these same folks, they're politicians right now. Hundreds year old folks still up in there with the same logic. They don't care. Anyway, going back to my view on this, is that Biden used that because he knew that we're going to get the black vote. You know, a tragedy going to happen. We're going to act like we coming through like, oh, they shouldn't be treating our black people like this. Vote for me and out that you free. You know? And then they was like, you're right. This is so unacceptable. Black people need to see it. And it's such a mockery of folks that really went through some things and still going through some things right now. Because as soon as he got in office, he's just like, man, whatever. You ain't the only folks out here. All you black people that voted for him and had the audacity to be like, we should have never voted for Biden. Yeah, you should have never voted for him. I'm surprised that you did. I could see off the break when he was running how feeble he looked. Like, why would I want somebody that weak representing my freedom? Back in the day, he laughed the whole black movement. He laughed at that type of stuff. Please, whatever. He didn't care. He laughed at the whole Negro movement. He did not care. Y'all didn't do y'all due diligence. Y'all did not. It isn't. Y'all did not see who this person really was. You just knew that Obama, but he was with Obama. I know folks, foreign folks. I'm talking about folks ain't even from this country. They regretting. I know folks ain't even from this country. They regret they cast their first time voting. They regret they cast their vote to Biden. You should see the remorse on these people's face. It ain't funny because of y'all stupidness. I'm dealing with what y'all voted for. But it didn't matter anyway. Three people voted for Biden, and they stole the election, stole the votes. The recounts was clearly showing that President Trump won, but they're so evil they had to get up in there and shut down. They got up in office and put barbed wires and all types of stuff so nobody would march. And they're trying to scare the American people to not march, because they know the stuff that they doing is going to drag them to hell. They know what they're doing, trying to shut down our freedoms, our liberties. So they want to make sure that you're not allowed to be on Pennsylvania Avenue, that you're not allowed to be heard. And to be very honest with you, all around the world, these guys sat together and was like, well, what are we going to do when we take away their freedoms and they start marching? What are we going to do? And they was just like, we're just ignoring them. And that's exactly what we see. We see that in Canada. The guy over there running them truckers over there, he ignoring them. He just stepping and hiding. I'm like, these people do know that they're never going to get the trust of the people anymore. They're never going to be able to run an office. They're never going to see that because people are not going to forgive this. That you forced them into a mandate that had nothing to do with them. That you did not go after the folks that made a bio weapon all in the lab. You didn't go after them, but you went after our freedoms, and this was purposely done, and you're a part of it. You're a part of it. I know like I said, I didn't vote for Biden, so my conscience is just like I was praying that he wouldn't win, and when he did, it was just like, you got to be kidding me. And everybody was just looking. Well, Trump. What did Trump do? Let me tell you what Trump did. Man, everybody was getting them Trump checks. And before everything went downhill, Trump said they basically made a bill and made sure that everyone around the world got paid except for the American people. I told them unacceptable. Come back with something. I'm like, that's right, Trump. Tell them. Tell them. And then Biden comes in office. I'm going to help out and give you some money. And if you have kids, what we'll do is we'll give it to you every month of my tax dollars. Of my tax dollars. You going to give me money that I have that belong to me. Of my tax dollars. And then, Cash App, we're not even going to go there. Anyone who's giving somebody over $600, they want to do an investigation. This is your president you voted for. Where's my gloves at so I can smack y'all? Where's my gloves? Where are my gloves? Where are my gloves? Y'all voted for this guy, and now y'all got this remorse. We should have never voted for Biden. Oh, is it because that electricity bill came in and for 1 month is $500? Oh, is it because, y'all went ahead, the oil pipeline, y'all probably endorsed that dude, didn't y'all? Y'all gave him millions of dollars so he could get up there and become the president. And he got up there and said, you're fired. Why didn't I see this daggone van? He got up there and said, you're fired. And then when he said, President Biden, President Biden, no more questions. And he walks away. Carries the mess out of y'all so he could go in the back and eat some ice cream. Now, when Trump was in office, he had a live feed. We was in office with him while he was talking to us, and this is what's going on. We was talking straight as an arrow. When them people, I don't know where was that, but they end up taking one of our people down, and within a matter of seconds, their folks got taken down. And then here go Trump. Everything's okay. Everything's fine. We came up with an agreement. There's not gonna be a war. I said, Trump ain't playing no games. You mess with us, you gonna get it. But y'all wanted somebody weak in office. Y'all wanted somebody so weak that he can't even answer questions. He ain't even reading the prompts right. And then had the audacity to call this dude what do you call it, SOB? Just no class showing you exactly who he is. He don't care. The only thing, him and his old dogs and that wife of his, she know better. She should have said, look, I know that you want to run for president, but for our future, grandchildren's and our family future's sake, no, my husband don't need to run for president. Even if they came and was like, but Mrs. Hines, we can really, we can filter out the things that he said. No. Because we dealing with some issues. This is my freedom too. If I gotta sit up here and take care of him and make sure he don't drool on the side, there's no way in heck I want my husband to sit up here and be the commander in chief just to have his photos taken 20 million times and he can't do nothing. Nah. So I fought her too, because as a wife, you should have known better. I'm not gonna lie, I'll tell you what I voted for. I voted for Trump. My vote was stolen. daggone sure didn't vote for no daggone Biden. Why would I vote for Biden? Why? He don't believe in God. He lied. He used the whole Black Lives Matter as a scapegoat. He definitely is weak. You have to have a characteristic as a president. This one right here, man, we're the laughing stock of the world. Like, you see how other countries are looking at us like, somebody go get this old man. Like, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. When he fell at the daggone steps, I was like, I'm not even gonna look at this. Even though I didn't vote for him, this is what's supposed to be the front line of America. He took our armed forces down, and we're not even gonna talk about that pullout that he did in Afghanistan. We're not even gonna talk about that, and how you left billions of army equipment over there to these folks on the base. We're not even gonna talk about that. And for innocent folks to be left behind, and folks there to be left behind with no covering and no protection. I think you said buyer's remorse. I think it's more freedom remorse. Now you realize the things that you like to do is being affected. You thought you thought it wasn't going to affect you. You thought you was going to be okay. You thought this was the greatest president of all times. He's going to do something better. They look, even with the debt being raised, y'all, even with them raising the ceiling for more debt, even I just be like, wait a minute, that's just like these new credit card folks. They trying to holler at me, hey, do you want this credit card? I still got a balance on my last credit card that I'm paying on time. Why would I want more debt? So I see these folks, and I'm like, and these are the people we supposed to be. They don't even know how to balance their checkbooks, and yet I'm supposed to believe like y'all gonna really do something for me. There's a huge gap now between the rich and the poor, and the middle class is just trying to be basically deleted. Inflation is real. Inflation is real. So in a nutshell, where I'm at right now is that I don't care what it looks like. I don't care. Y'all need to do your homework and really see what these people are about. You should have prayed and asked God to reveal it to you what these people were really about. I knew what Biden was all about. He's going to push this mass V chip, and in order for you to do that, you have to attack our freedoms. And if it's not gonna happen in house, then he gonna get his pals to come through the back door and start something. And you know what that means? Everybody better stand up. You better stand up. You better fight. Anyway, we got 3 more years, so we'll see. I'm gonna have to remember this conversation. I'm gonna have to remember this talk, because in the next 3 years, I'm gonna be in the next 3 years, I'm gonna follow up and see where we at. We're gonna see what's gonna happen to we're gonna see. But I was looking at a video yesterday. Like I said, it was a guy, he was in a concentration camp, and I was like, what y'all don't know what this is about? Y'all don't understand what concentration camps are really about? Anyway, Y'all have a blessed day today. Keep praying for this nation. Even the man that's in office right now, pray for him. Pray that God removes him quick and put somebody good up in office. You know, he could live the rest of his old days. You know, in a with his wife, not running this country because he's not running it anyway. Y'all have a blessed day.